I do take a moment to steel myself and to furiously wipe away those tears from my eyes, smearing the blood across my face as I do so. Whatever voice he calls in, it's still him. It's still just him. Fox J. Are you able to get rid of or to scatter magic? Are you able to do that?
Farron, Fox J is on his crying and pretty catatonic.
I will go to him knowing, just knowing, um, kneeling down and cupping your face in my hands. Fox J. Fox J, you had your moment to say goodbye. Whatever she said, it wasn't her. You're blameless here. It wasn't her.
You see even Lewin, blood dripping down his nose, his eyes puffy a little bit. So you seen something too, eh? Told me everything I fucking done. Doesn't have to be for nothing. It could be a good cause. You know, slaughtering of a lot of your fucking people. How could that be a good fucking cause? I want that to be true as much as the next fucking person. But he's fucking with our heads.
And I look down at Fox J. He's right. He's right. You know in your heart what she would want. You've told us as much.
Gonna look up. I'm going to begin a word that doesn't make it. Fox J is a tiefling, and his particular horns, as I've described before, but has bearing now, start at the back of his ears and come forward to his forehead. So the rings right there, which he's gotten used to, the periphery, but very recently has added a little dangle of a kind of through that twine. He's going to kind of see past Farron and see toward Evelina. And just apparently blood-soaked from pores to tears, just mucus. He's going to stand up wearily, like as an old man would at a funeral. And if Evelina's still there. Going to limber toward her, just past Farron. No disrespect to her.
All good. As he stands,
Yeah.
I let my hands drop and just put in his face.
Pupils will dilate, just very focused. Evelina, I don't know what you saw. But you gave me a gift. And I think I would have crumpled with it. I heard her voice yesterday. And it had been 10 years. His voice today was without power because of you. She, as he, promised me the opposite of what she said yesterday. She trusts me, not through anyone else. And I'll just kind of make eye contact with Lewin and Farron, whoever else is in the room. And I trust all of you in this moment to make your own decisions. Not some voice in the head, my voice, which is Ocean's voice, and you will not disrespect me. She believes in me. I believe in you. Go on. And Lewin, I don't know what you feel. It matters, it doesn't matter, I cannot. But however torturous, it brought us here. The difference you have made already. This fucking cursed tower. Even if it's just for me. That is something.
You're right. It's got us this fucking far. We have got each other this fucking far. And he just wipes the blood across his face from his nose and then flashes a toothy grin. Let's fuck this wizard up.
As Foxjay came up to Evelina, you would be able to see that she is visibly distraught and torn. But she relaxes somewhat with your words as you were telling her about Ocean and her true voice. And she'll say to you, I heard his voice. He told me he wants to cleanse the spirits of everyone. He wants to give me my life back, and I felt alive. And I almost believed him, but your words reminded me that it's all a lie. Thank you. And as you said, Lewin, let's fucking do this.
No more distractions.
No more.
The party storming up the next set of stairs. This set where before a door was awaiting you at the top where you expected a top. Of this one, there is no top. It seems that it spirals on around to the next set of staircases. And from there you see as this landing hall opens up before you, and a massive pair of doors similar to that which was the gate that led you into this tower itself. Same kind of design. The door, as you approach, opens before you. And before you, within this next room, within this last room. The party makes their way into this room, and you see within the center of this massive chamber, much like the previous ones, but more, even higher vaulted ceilings in this case. Within the center is this large structure. If there was any modicum of design thought put into something, it was within this structure itself. And within this room itself, there are these, as if serving the purpose of a window, but not transparent, as though you would be able to see. You get the sense that they are just crystal, inlaid to provide some light within this room. Still dark and dreary as the rest, and that fog of purple and green that emanates across everything you see. These little bits and chunks of purple and green that float within this chamber around this cylindrical, almost wellspring, but within it you see, in this larger, almost bell tower-esque design, a crystal, larger, far larger than any that you had seen before, glowing extremely brightly with purple and green. The black that is the baseline of this crystal normally is not even visible. In fact, to stare at this too much would be burdensome on the eyes. And from below it drains this ooze of green. And you notice below that there is this channel system of not quite a glass inlaid in the floor, but a kind of channel system where this ooze kind of forms this pattern and zigzags through the chamber itself. And underneath it, you can see that green kind of glow up from underneath this glass or crystal or whatever it is that it's formed. And you see those particles of green and purple floating around in this obelisk that ascends as if a beacon all the way through to the top of the tower. As you enter the room, with a rumbling and again that static electricity forming even heavier, you feel this weight as if a force is being applied on you, almost to the point where you would have to resist taking a knee with the weight of it, as if gravity was enhanced here. For a moment, you feel this pressure, and then you feel the vibration of the air as it... You see even those little particles that float around in the air are even being affected by this intense vibration of this magical energy. You feel even more that pressure, that weight that you felt on your way up here. A force appears before you, and you see in front of you a magical energy emanate before you. It bisects the room, and from behind this large obelisk within the center of the room, first one figure, masked, then another figure rounds around the other side, masked as well, very familiar. One of your companions has one of those on right now. same mask as the disciples. Very similar garb as well in this case, but they seem to have their own kind of adornments. One just twirling around a dagger. The other still sheathed a rapier at their side. Tilts their head up, twists, kind of tries to get a good measure on the party. And from around the left side, from where you have entered, you see a figure. A figure to match the voice that emanated into some of your minds at a time and presented itself within that orb. He stands with his arms behind his back, well postured. He approaches, and one foot in front of the other as he steps, kind of marches his way towards you, the party. Wearing mostly simple garb, dark colors. He has a goatee and slightly graying dark hair. He kind of raises one eyebrow as he gleans at each of you, as if for him to gain some kind of insight on you, and that look of almost, I don't have time for this. These pests have entered my domain. I have given you all the opportunity to choose life. I understand that there are wills out there that cannot be manipulated. I seek not to manipulate. Everything that I have spoken is true. It can be done. There is much that can be done with the study of magic. And that is all I am. I am a student. I've studied all my life. And I have seen that those without power, those who do not seek power, serve no other purpose in this world but to be crushed by those with it. And that can change. I can give power. And I can give purpose to those who oblige. I see it. I see it in all of you. That resentment. It is the resentment of a dog in a cage, who, while caged, of course, could be freed if it simply didn't bite the hand which beats it. So you either join me now, or you join me when we are done with all of this. And he quickly unfurls his coat, and it just flies off to the side a little bit, and he puts his hands out in front of him and clasps them together.
What do you want?
What do I want?
Liliana's gonna take off her mask.
You see, he kind of tilts his head in reaction slightly, and then for a
She
moment
walks.
of almost disappointment in himself that he didn't see it coming, almost, and a bit of surprise. And then he tilts his nose back up.
21. She marches next. She walks around from behind towards the front. 21 years. I have gotten stronger in mind, in body. Me standing before you is proof of that. You took everything from me. 26 years ago. I was a child, needing my father and my mother. You left both of us. Cast it aside. You left me to take care of my own mother until her dying breath. I was just a baby. A child. And you took me in out of duty. Not of love. Years you locked in a house waiting alone for you to come home. Whenever that would be. Needing, wanting, starving for your attention. For 11 years I waited for your acknowledgement. For you to be proud of me. For your love, but it never came. All cause of my mother's blood and not your magic blood.
He takes a step forward towards his own kind of force field wall. And then another, and he stands close to the force field itself.
Did you get my gift? When I left your hell? Those lilies. Mother's favorite flower. Beautiful, weren't they? That day marked the death of my childhood. And the beginning of my rebirth. I vowed vengeance. Vengeance. She's gonna look to the party. Is motivation. And back to Morg here. The truest of its form. Vengeance pushed me to get stronger. And I have. And here I am. Tears welling up in her eyes. Here I am, Father. Now, am I a threat?
He just, almost in a moment of hesitation, he reaches out his hand and then puts it back down, and then tilts his head down, and then does reach his hand out just a few fingertips and touch the, as if it were glass. You are powerful. It's beautiful. You see, he kind of almost frowns a little bit, as if there's a happy tear forming in his eyes. You are powerful. I'm so impressed. I am so proud. Your blood, your mother's blood. He kind of leans in. You still have my blood. Magic. Ah. You found power in other ways. In this world, my world that I have created, that I am creating, does not have to trample you. It doesn't. So, the question is, are you going to be my threat? And the force field falls. And then he takes a step forward. Or theirs.
She turns. Over her shoulder and looks at the party. Takes a step to open herself up between Morikir and the party. Looks at Lewin. Tears just streaming down her face. Then to Evelina, to everybody, her eyes haven't changed. Sharp, just as the day you met them. I've seen this game of chess that's being played. She looks at her hands and holds them up. The thing is, when kings fall, it's not over. A whole new game starts. Right back up. But the new game doesn't play by the same rules as the last. She takes the mask and slides it on, pulling her hood on. Pulls out her daggers, and in a very similar fashion from the day that you met her, she swirls them.
You see Morikir himself, he kind of takes a step forward and almost delighted in anticipation. It's a crazed look in his eyes.
She looks to Fern. Or Farron. Today's the day. That you face a monster wears a friend's face. And she steps towards Morikir, takes a step back.
You see Lewin, he takes a step forward, like draws his sword in frustration, almost a nonverbal the fuck.
She tilts her head.
Morkir slightly tilts his head down.
He approaches Lewin.
Don't fucking listen to him. He's a manipulative psychopath.
All I ever wanted was his love.
You'll never
Somebody's-
fucking get it. Not from him. But you know who will.
She looks at him. Right. Takes a slash at him. At his throat.
He leans forward and takes a step forward as if to go to say one more thing, and he stumbles to a knee.
As he falls, she's right there in his face.
Looks at you.
He will bring true peace. He will bring true peace. And she just as he falls, she's just right there, holding his head down and down and down, and she just takes another dagger to his back.
Just slightly as that last blade goes into his back, you see as he, the last formal thought, though he couldn't speak, is just a shake of the head, no. As he falls, and those around Morikir in the chamber take a step forward. And we need to roll initiative.
Let's fucking go.
Haha.
Okay. Talon, what do you got?
21.
Key. Nat 20, Liliana. Go for
Get a
total.
dirty 20.
30, 20 Key. Farron.
Also a dirty 20.
I will put it in general chat for Discord to see the net.
What is, you're good. What's the total roll of your Liliana? Fox J, what do you got?
Natural 20.
For total what?
23.
23. Liliana, what's your roll?
Natural 20, but 29.
29. Evelina, what you got?
10.
And
I'm so upset right now. I don't want to kill my friend.
Damn it, Liliana. Ah!
There was a chance that you guys could have turned her, but you failed.
Oof.
Who says we failed?
There's still
She just killed
time.
Lewin, bro.
Yes.
I think we're kind of beyond it.
Time to
stab a
rogue. It's fine.
She just wanted love.
She fucking had it, bitch.
Everyone here loved her. Everyone here loved her. She didn't need to fight for it.
I will not let what was just said change what I was about to.
Don't.
Okay, let me pull up the map. Let me adjust it first beforehand. So, I'm gonna get everybody kind of where they were. Do you guys want to give me a kind of a marching order as far as like as you came out of the chamber? It's not a very big chamber, so.
He was probably walking closer to the front after that big room because she was one of the first people with Talon to run off. So her and Talon are probably closer to the front. Unless Talon like stayed back for some reason.
Farron will be kind of towards the back.
Okay.
Taking the ranger's role.
Evelina.
I would have been close to Liliana.
Then you would have been close to Lewin. Well, they would have stepped ahead of you a little bit. So you'd be kind of behind Lewin. Probably taking a step or two towards him as he is backstabbed. Talon and Foxjay, your positioning. Keep in mind that there was still one kind of flanking you up towards the right as well.
I probably would have hung around Kiamok.
Okay. Okay. And Foxjay.
I was near the back because of that final scene, and we have already ascended the stair.
Okay.
So near the back.
I will pull that up for you on screen. And I will paste that here as I share it. There it is. You can see now. And let me pull up the screen for everybody. There is our battle map. This chamber, we see Morik here. This described thing, as it were. The fallen Lewin, the disciple on either side of the chambers, A and B. Liliana, looking turnt. And the party. So who's ready for some combat?
Do this.
So, actions that may be taken in combat now. First up, Liliana herself.
You guys can hear her breathing quivered behind the mask as she stands over Lewin's body.
It's not hard to tell that she is shaking from the intensity and the emotion of it. It's also not hard to tell, as much as she hoped it would guise it, there are tear droplets forming and falling at the rim of that mask.
So who's killing him when he comes back up?
So visually, who is next?
who
To
is
her.
next to her. Next in line is Evelina, right behind him. Do you see it on the screen? It should be up on the.
Oh yeah.
I sent
Yeah.
you the link.
So
Everybody.
Lily would dance her way to face Avelina, but to her right. So
To your right.
to my
This way?
right, yeah. And as she goes in for her strike, I do not believe I have advantage, so no sneak attack. She will just say, "Join me, and you will be spared." And she will just go in for one attack. Against her. I was almost on that 20. So 17 plus 8, that is 25 to hit.
That hits.
That is 9 piercing damage. And she will bounce back, and I will allow her to take a opportunity attack against her. So I would bounce back next to A.
Backwards, you would get that opportunity of attack if you would like it, Evelina.
Can I say something instead?
You may.
I'll say to her as she leaves, stabbing me. You had our love, Lily. You didn't need to fight for it. We still love you. It's not too late.
Doesn't say anything. You just see her head cock to the side. That's my turn.
Next in line, that brings us to... Oh, hold on. Oh shit, did I lose it? Hopefully not. Nope, I didn't. I got it back. Fox J, you're next in line. 23.
Shakily, he will approach Liliana, using his movement to get in front of her.
Okay. In front of Liliana, all the way up here.
Mm-hmm. I will say, through Fox J's own tears, bleeding, really liked your song. I understand. I agree with Morik here. That there is a need for power. He is confused on the source of it. It is not power in books, it is not power in spells, it is not isolating those dear to you. Power of love. And I know you seek it. Well, Liliana, here I am. I will put my hand on your shoulder. Through incredible tears, just blood just pouring out of his eye. Purple will glow up his arm, back down, and I will cast Warding Bond. So, Liliana, I'm here. As love. If you get hurt, I get hurt. If you go down, I go down. That is what love means.
Liliana, you have to be willing to let this connection take place.
You will not. Do I make a wisdom? Do I make a save or anything against it at this point, or is it just a willing thing?
Nope. It's assumed that it would be cast on an ally.
Yeah. So I will just kind of nod, knowing that it did be received, and turn my back on Liliana. Not in the, here's my back, I absolve myself of you, but I turn my back as in, hit me first. This is where I'll stand. You are my friend. I take that responsibility very high. That's my turn.
Grandmaster Morikir takes a step towards Liliana. My sweet daughter, I am so proud of you. You have chosen well today. As it seems like he forms his hands in some form of magical spellcasting shapes. But there is no time for negotiations. They have chosen their fates. And do not let them show you any weakness. They're looking for it in you. Give them nothing. And he will cast out a ray from within his hand. You see now that in one of his hands was hidden a little stiletto, almost a long needle, serving almost as a dagger and a wand in the same instance, very similar to the same kind of crystal that you have seen in some of its adornments, but it's mostly white. But it's like this bone decay white that it has, and casts out a beam. Fox J, you need to make a Constitution saving throw, as you are engulfed in this necrotic energy.
19.
19 does not save.
Oh boy.
Gotta roll some dice. Gotta roll some dice. I'm gonna just do it where I can. Let me pull up somebody else that can. So I do 2 of these. There we go. Quicker maths. That is going to be math 16 points of necrotic damage. Hold on, let me double check that that's necrotic damage. 16 points of necrotic damage. You feel this necrosis encompass you. The bone of your horns even quickly decaying. You feel for a moment the rings become loose, and you have to quickly slide them back on further where it's sturdier and not quite decayed.
Might I have a reaction?
What kind of reaction? It depends. What kind of reaction?
Well, you hurt me. So,
Yes.
Hellish Rebuke, please.
You may. Go ahead.
Dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Okay. That is a 15 on the saving throw.
That is the spell save DC, so you will take half damage. Hands are so shaky. So, 7, so 3 points of fire damage.
3 points of fire damage. Okay.
How scared you are, daughter. Receiving any luck.
You see, he then directs his attention after sending this kind of ray of energy that culminates in this aura around you and causes decay in you. On the other hand, he double casts with the free hand something to somewhat enhance his beloved daughter. I will tell you, Allie, what that is in a direct message. But other than that, we can continue on. It is now Palin's turn.
I was not ready for it to be my turn. Fuck. Okay.
It is your turn, sorry. And Farron, you're coming up. Key, you're after that. Evelina, y'all are coming up. So get your turn sorted.
Okay. Can I squeeze between Kiamok and Avelina? Get up close to Lewin, and then over one to get within 10 feet of Morikir?
I'd say easy enough. You'd use probably all of your movement to get through all of them. It would be kind of like rough terrain, but if that's okay with you, you can use all of your movement to get up to him.
I mean, okay. Would it be possible to actually be on that right behind me, close to Lewin on the other side, but keeping distance from?
This one right here?
Yes.
Kind of edge that a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Ish, kind of.
Yeah.
Sure, you're kind of there.
Kind of there.
Kind
Cool.
of there,
That's fine.
Sure.
Okay. Cool beans. Before a little talk, I'm going to spend 1 key point, and I'm going to light up my fists with Fangs of the Fire Snake. And how dare you? How dare you? You have taken the fortunes of us and your daughter, and you manipulate us and her. How dare you? We are the misfortunes of your actions, Morikir. The fortunes you have taken. Now you deal with our consequences. And I'm going to pop.
As you send your blows, however they may land in response, he speaks out. She made her decision a long time ago. You only failed to change her mind. And your weakness shows as you roll your attacks.
I'm not going to listen to any bit of that because he's a bitch. Okay. So let's see, what are we doing? We are doing unarmed strike for these, and that is going to be okay. Does a 24 hit?
24. Let me see. Hold on a second. There we go. Now it's got his stuff. Good, cool. I was having to pull it up a different way. Now I have it. What is that total? Yes, it does hit. You're good.
Cool. Okay. Okay, so that, hold on. A hit with this attack deals fire damage instead of bludgeoning. And if you spend 1 key point when the attack hits, it also deals measure. Nope. Not on that one. Okay. So that will be. What is that? 6 points of bludgeoning damage for the first strike. Does a 7. Sorry, fire. Because
6 points fire.
Okay. Yes, fire damage. And then does the second hit? Does a 17 hit?
17 will not hit.
Will
not
not
in this
hit.
case, as the first strike lands true, you kind of catch him on the side and engulf him a little bit, and then you see as he, with his little dagger hand, kind of nope, and this shield forms, and it blocks that next blow that comes.
What a bitch. Okay. Bonus action. I am going to do just, I guess, one more unarmed strike.
Okay.
Come on. No. Wait. Hold on. I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Okay.
Or to get advantage.
Sure.
That's a nat 19 from a nat 1. 19 plus 7.
Yeah,
19
you're good.
plus 7.
That'll hit.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. That is going to be 8 points, and I am going to, for an additional key point, add a 10 points of fire damage to go along with that.
Okay.
So 16 points of fire damage with that one hit.
Nice. Excellent. That after that second blow is struck down by that magical shield, you quickly send in another one and it lands true. He smirks. If that concludes your turn.
Is he concentrating on anything?
Doesn't seem to be, not at this moment.
Okay.
Just for flavor, I'm going to kneel down and give condolences and feel kind of sorry for Lumen.
You're just in a moment and you're sliding back. You go to brace yourself kind of with your hand a little bit, and your hand finds the still hand of Lewin for a moment. You try not to linger on it for too long, but it's an acknowledgement. Next, we turn to
Beep beep.
It is not. Sorry. I was giving the player one, but there is somebody that's coming before you. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You are after this person though, but they are going, and this is actually this figure who is turning their attention, rushing forward. Boop, boop, boop. Close some of that distance in a bit. You see as it murmurs and these whispers whisper out from within it in this some kind of void language. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, Farron.
Double checking something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, I now have proficiency in wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
All right, so that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 succeeds. You take nothing. There is no effect to that. You see, and they rush up there, the one with the rapier, and they storm up close to you. Now, rapier drawn, and will make attacks. That is a 10 and a 7. Both miss. You are able to dodge out of the way. Both of those do not land true. It is now your turn if you would like to do something in retaliation.
You're not my prey. The tattoos glow. Now you're able to see as they flash from eyes down to body with that white, blue light flashing even through the accumulated blood. I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike with a bonus action, so my movement speed doubles and I do not provoke attacks of opportunity as I move. I am going to... Let's see... If my movement speed is 40, it doubles to... Or no, I'm sorry, it doesn't double. I get 30 feet. So that is a total of 70. With 70 feet of movement, can I get around that crystal pylon to get line of sight on Morik here?
All the way
So
over
going
the
around
back
the
behind there.
right?
Let's check it. With no opportunity, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60. Yeah, you would have 10 foot even more to spare if you wanted to go even further. If you want to go the full 70, you can get all the way back here if you'd like.
Let's just go 60.
Just that 60.
And then I'm going to fire 2 arrows at Morik here.
Okay.
The first, that is a 16 to hit.
A 16 will not hit.
Okay.
And you're shaking in anger and confusion. You need to regather your senses. Your aim was not true at this time.
Okay. I will go ahead and take the second attack. Using Zephyr Strike, I can give myself advantage on it. So let's try that. Does a 23 hit?
A 23 will hit.
Okay. So I get an additional D8 from it being my first attack on the round, and an additional D8 from Zephyr Strike on that. So that is 8. That is 20 points of piercing damage for the
20 points of
next
piercing damage.
strike.
As you do this, an arrow lands true. He turns his head slightly and then reaches out a hand as he speaks some kind of word similar in fashion to what the others have done. Some kind of power that is learned, dark, obviously, and that is just straight damage. You just take it. It is a form of rebuke. That is going to be 11 points of necrotic damage as these whispers kind of encompass you and you feel this decay.
So no save
And
on
with that, he
I do still want
also...
one more attack.
Yes.
Sorry.
You may resolve it in a second, but there's more to this reaction that he did.
Thank you, sorry.
With the breath, Morikir dissolves as if he puffs into a mist. And then, in a moment later, within this necrotic energy, he appears right beside you. Right behind you, more so, rather.
Okay.
Now you may continue your turn.
May I use the rest of my movement?
You may.
All right. I would like to use my remaining movement, which is 10 feet, to dart away. Let's go directly to my right. So not towards the wall.
This way?
Yep. So hopping 10 feet back, still moving as though the wind itself is helping me dart away. I will use my final attack from my Dread Ambusher feature.
Okay.
And that is a 22 to hit.
22 does hit. You see he almost goes to raise a hand to block it, and then in a moment of some kind of discernment decides not to. Just takes the arrow.
Okay.
What is the damage?
That's another 10 points of damage.
10? Okay. Strikes true. Grins at you.
Oh. I would also like to mark him as my favored foe.
Sure.
With that successful hit. And when I deal damage to it, including when I mark it, I can increase that damage by a d6. So we're adding a d6 to that.
Sure.
So another 4 points.
4
total
points.
of 14.
Absolutely. Does that conclude your turn?
That does conclude my turn. Thank you.
Now we come to... we already did Talon. Kimok. You're muted.
All right. Let's see where I am. Let's see where he is.
There's you.
So I can't really get... I have 40 movement speed, but I don't think that's enough to get to our boy Morikir over there.
Yeah, probably not. 5, 10,
Like just
15, 20, 25,
yeah.
30, 40, you could. You just gotta run it tight. I'll let you if you would like to.
Well, yeah, I want to get all up in his face.
Okay, I
would
won't
like
make you do
to-
that. You're good. Yep, you get all up in
Okay.
that business.
Get all up in his face. I am enraged, so I will immediately go for my 2 attacks with my
Sure.
scimitar. Just right at him. First one. 23 to hit for the first one.
Okay. That will hit.
And 27 for the second one.
What 20 what
Alright,
for the second one?
27 for the second one.
Okay, both will hit. Go ahead and roll your damages.
And D4 plus 8. Let's save my damage. Woohoo! 4 and a 3 plus 5. 6, 7, 8. Alright, so 12 damage on the first hit. And 2. And then 9 for the second hit.
You seemingly catch him off guard a little bit. He only hears you storm over here, and then it's too late by that point. You've gained traction as he was messing with Farron at that time. Both strikes land somewhat true as he is only able to slightly glean out of the way of your blows, and they they deal some damage. Anything else you'd like to do? That concludes your turn.
I don't
And
have
we
any
come
bonus actions, I
to
believe.
this other disciple who will Can he do that? He can do that. So, you see as he, with the dagger in one hand, palms it kind of with his thumb, and then forms this hand shape, claps his hands together at the forearms, and you see this void that forms. I need all of you in this area right here, excluding Liliana, to make a saving throw. That is wisdom, a wisdom saving throw. As this area is filled with these screams, and it's as if you're lost in this void, and there's this tearing between this material realm and the spiritual realm, and you feel for a moment these shrill screams. What are your saving throws?
Nat 20 plus 2.
You're good.
23.
23. And Talon?
6.
6. So, each of you will take 5 points of damage, those who failed. 10 points of psychic damage. 10 points for those who failed, 5 who succeeded. Sorry, you take 10 Talon. That's all psychic damage. Talon, you are also frightened of this disciple in this current state. These screams as soon as they come up, and then within an instant they come back down, just enough to tear that veil and pierce your mind for what it cannot withstand. So, Talon, you are frightened. The other two, you are not. That brings us to his... that's it. That's him. That's all he can do. Evelina, last but not least. And then we'll come back to Liliana and Fox J after that. Evelina, go ahead.
I'm gonna look down at Lewin, sad. He's kind of an asshole, but he didn't deserve to die like this. But only for a split second, and I'm gonna dart around Fox J and swing my swords at A.
Okay. Moving around to Fox J. Go ahead and roll your attacky attacks.
15 plus 8 for the first one.
That'll hit. You're good.
Okay, and then the second one is a 16 plus 7, so it'll be the same. And I do have sneak attack with that.
Yes.
So, okay, so for the first hit, 7 points of piercing damage. And...
Oops, not 78. As much as you would like that.
What? Not 78?
Okay, and the second one?
The sneak attack is 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And with sneak attack, I can do an additional 2d6 damage to this person and a second person that I can see for Wails from the Grave of 2d6 of... So that's 8 points of necrotic damage to A, and I can still see B, so he's going to take 8 points of necrotic damage also.
A. How much for... They'll both take 8.
Yes.
And you can still see B. What's the range on that? Just
I
who you
believe
can
it's
see?
like 30?
It should be good then. 5, 10, 15,
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Let me subtract that from the other one as well. Excellent.
So,
Returning the
flavor-
favor, but the happy, good spirits are working in your favor in this moment.
So for flavor, I'm gonna like just dance around Foxjay. I'm gonna swing the one sword at this guy because he didn't see me behind Foxjay. I'm small, he's big. And there's gonna be this look on Evelina's face that you haven't seen before. This ray of sunshine gets this just pained, angry, loathsome look as she stabs into A, and her neck kind of just like turns as she like looks to B, and their ears start to bleed a little bit. And she's going to do another 5 points of damage on A as she swings her second sword into him.
Okay. Excellent. And if that concludes your turn, we come to Liliana. It is your turn.
Lily, seeing Avelina's demeanor change, she's gonna snap her head in your direction and say, "Good. Use that anger." And she's going to attack Foxjay. And since I won't be using a bonus action this turn.
Not the fridge.
That'll be a 26 and an 18 to hit.
18 misses.
Okay, so you'll only get one, and that'll be sneak attack. Let's see. Switch 4 to 6. Okay, so that'll be 8 piercing damage. And then 11 sneak attack damage. And then, I think what she will do at this point. Boy, this is rough. This is rough. Nope, she's gonna stay right where she's at. And you'll still see the water droplets kind of falling and binding underneath her mask. And she's still breathing heavily. Quivering. And that is my turn.
That brings us to Foxjay.
I don't know where you stabbed, but I will, put my hand to it. Deep breath. That's all right, Liliana. Love hurts sometimes. DM, can I see Lewin breathing in any sort of capacity, or is he just full?
Hard to tell. It doesn't seem to have any semblance of life in this moment.
Okay. I'm still crying blood tears because it's
It's just it's just really hard to tell in this moment in the heat of the battle. You could physically check, but of course it would take an action.
Okay. As Avelina is dancing around me, I will try to make quick eye contact, kind of from the momentum of being stabbed, and give like a big, his beard is white, so it's just totally blood soaked, and just give like a big smirk. And as a tear falls down and hits the ground, just like by the tree, he will cast Aura of Vitality.
Okay.
And in like a 30-foot radius, everyone feels an ocean breeze, maybe for just a moment, maybe in its own war against the blight and blood and everything, and just smell the salt of the ocean. And as a bonus action with Aura of Vitality, I can give 2d6 healing, which I will selfishly do to myself.
Fair.
Um,
Very fair.
And actually, no, because it's of love of other people. So if I heal myself, I can't use my. So that is my action and bonus action. And I will just smile at Liliana. Just kind of give the, like, you know, smell the air look. Isn't it nice? And I don't think I can move because, you know, attack of opportunity, that'd be pretty bad. So I'll just stay. I'll just stay where I was. Same kind of position. And that's it. Thank you.
Why, hello there, legend. This epic quest needed to be broken up into 4 different parts, so make sure you click on over to the next video or continue listening if you're over on Spotify.